He came to the subcontinent with a reputation that he cannot play spin. He was touted to struggle against the best spinning attack in the world. But yesterday when Usman Khawaja scored a century against India in Ahmedabad, and today he carried on that good work, he dispelled the notion that he is not a good player of spin, showing tremendous discipline, cutting out the sweep shot or the reverse sweep, going for dart defense and actually ensuring that Australia would be in the driver's seat. Usman Khawaja's 180 broke a lot of records today, and in the process he's eliminated 13 years of a jinx that has accompanied Australia's openers when they have come to India. Usman Khawaja's 180, just like Sachin Tendulkar's 241 in Sydney, was a study in concentration, discipline, and how he could curb his natural instincts to ensure that he managed to get a big score. Thus, it was a shame that the first ball after the tea break, the most assured player had a lapse in concentration and he was strapped LBW to Akshar Patel, who by the way got his second wicket of the series after a gap of 47.2 overs. It is a staggering achievement that Usman Khawaja, in the course of 4 years, he's dispelled that notion. On a rank turner, or you may say a difficult pitch in Dubai, he had batted for 8 hours to score 141 against Pakistan. Then in Pakistan again, 2 centuries but on absolute flat decks he scored, but that didn't dispel the notion. Here he has broken records, and here is the list of records that Usman Khawaja has broken. So, if you have to look at it, he's the first Australian opener in 12 to 13 years of touring India that he scored a century. The last individual, the last opener who had scored a century for Australia and India was Shane Watson, 126. Beat that. That 126 was memorable. Mohali, when Lakshman's bat back, despite that, India won by 1 run, 1 wicket. This is the second highest individual score by an Oz opener in India, 180. Who's ahead of him? Matthew Hayden. Remember, Matthew Hayden had hit 203 against India in Chennai in that famous 2001 series. Although Australia had dominated for some portions in Chennai, India found a way to win, and that is how Matthew Hayden's 203 was pushed to the footnotes of history. But if you look at the top list, the top 10 openers that they have produced, I mean, if you look at the highest scores by an opener in India, Fouad Barkas of the West Indies, 250 that he made in 1979. Then Herbert Sutcliffe made 230, again in 1955. Brendan McCullum's 225 in 2010. You'll remember, he had hit 225 in Hyderabad. Matthew Hayden 203 in 2001. Then there was Graham Fowler of England who hit 201 in 1985. Greenwich 194 in 1983. Then Alistair Cook in 2012 in Kolkata had hit 190. It was a sublime series for Cook, who hit 3 scores of over 100 in that series. Then you had Saeed Anwar of Pakistan, that 188 in 1999 in that Asian Test Championships in Kolkata. That was a brilliant knock. Then you got Khawaja 180 and Dennis Amiss who hit 179. So Khawaja is in an elite list of players, and if you look at it, the last 3, Cook, Anwar, Khawaja, they are all left-handers. It's a testament that left-handers can be an X factor for your team. But if you look at his last 1 year, Usman Khawaja, 2022 to 2023, he's actually been the best batter in the world. Looking just behind maybe Joe Root slightly in the overall scenario, but when it comes to the last 1 year, he's been the best batter in the world. Khawaja in 16 matches, 1,608 runs at an average of nearly 70 600s. Joe Root, 1,417 runs at an average of 52.4 with 600s. Babar Azam, also 65 average with 400s. Marnus Labuschagne, average of 50.7 with 400s. But prior to India, Labuschagne had a very good average, but that unfortunately has dipped because he's not had a good series here. Technically also, because he's been rooted to the crease, he has gotten bowled a lot of times and the bowlers have found a way to get rid of Marnus Labuschagne. Now, if you have to look at the highest individual scores for Australia in India, Khawaja has entered that list again. Dean Jones, Who can forget that epic 210 in absolutely horrendous climatic conditions in Chennai in 1986? Matthew Hayden, yet again in Chennai 2001, swept India nearly out of the contest before Harbhajan Singh pulled off a miracle. Usman Khawaja 180 in Ahmedabad. Then Steve Smith, his 178 in Ranchi was a masterclass. Prior to that, he had scored a brilliant 100 in Pune on a ranked turner and then followed up the 178 with a century in Dharamshala. It was a tragedy that Australia lost the series 2-1 because Smith's batting was at a different level altogether. And then you have Graham Yallop, who scored 167 in 1979 in Kolkata. Looking at Usman Khawaja's contributions today, he may have very well hurt India in the WTC finals race. Because remember, the equation is simple. If India draw or lose this, then Sri Lanka are given a lifeline. And if Sri Lanka somehow manage to win the Hagley Oval Test match against New Zealand, then the second and final test that is there on March 17th till 21st, that will be watched by a lot of Indian cricket team fans, because that is a very, very important match in the context of the World Test Championship final qualification. So Usman Khawaja, fantastic knock, and once again he has dispelled the notion that he cannot play spin in the subcontinent. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget to download the SportsTalk mobile app as well. Thank you.